welcome one, welcome all to our first and only Android MC5 Content Creator Tournament. My name is Canifitz, joined once more by Deedless to bring you not just your favourite Android content creators, but some of the best players on Android right now.
And you know what, Canifit, I'm excited to see how these MC5 YouTubers are going to perform here today. After all, some of your favorite MC5 YouTubers are here in this competition. You have two of them on Chronic, you have Team Rookie with Aiden, and Gladiator Games have two MC5 YouTubers as well. So for all the viewers here, they get to watch their favorite celebrities take part in this tournament.
Yeah, welcome back to all you guys. It's lovely to see so many familiar faces from when we were streaming on the regular before. This will be a one-off stream, so do let Game Love know if you'd like to see more of this kind of thing. Currently, this will be the only one planned for a while, but hopefully one day we'll be able to get back into things. We've got our first lobby brewing. Let's just see what's going on with that.
Well, Canifit, you know what? The teams are probably taking their time getting ready. They need to get pumped, you know. Some people, they just need to like do something crazy before they move into that competition, like scream your lungs out, go in for some puck matches and really just fight it out before you feel really warm and ready to go.
Hey Abigail Allen, good to see you back in the chat once again, now known as Abby's Life as a Gamer, and Black Zone there as well, helping out Woog's organisation. So this tournament put together by Black Zone and Aiden YouTube, who's brought together all these fine folks. But we are playing under slightly different rules than you might be used to if you were a fan of the ESL competitions down the line. A lot of stuff is the same, but we have got a higher class of armor available to our Android players. So we're going all the way up to Oni, which is the tier 5 armor, rather than just the humble werewolf at tier 3. So Deedless, there's going to be a lot more beefiness out on the battlefield, and I'm curious to see how that's going to change how our players approach this competition.
Oh, I agree with you, Canifit. Changing things up definitely puts these players out of their comfort zone, but sometimes you do need to change change those things up just in order to force players to adapt to the game. Right here in this tournament, they're gonna have to adapt, but after all, it is those MC5 YouTubers. So in such a position like this, they surely must have been before. I know that for a fact they should be able to adapt to this situation.
So guys, we will be, as a result of this competition, the prizes are, for third place, 500 credits and a extra special kill sign, which goes to all top 3 performing teams today. Second place will get golden weapons for the whole squad, and first place, supermarine armor, so you can look just as nice as you can be when you're trotting around the battlefield filled up with pride that you were the best on Android here today.
What would you do, Canifit, if you had that, if you won this tournament rather? What would you then do? What would you use those rewards on? Like, I mean, it's the supermarine armor, probably pretty damn cool, Canifit, and I know you love to look cool.
Well, I mean, why would you not? I think if I was a winner here, and if I was one of these MC5 YouTubers, I would really milk the heck out of it. I would make videos about every single kill I got the whole way through the competition, and you'd have to know that our YouTubers who are playing here today. So for Chronic, who we've got coming up as our first match, Pixel and the Black playing on their squad, you have to know they're going to be recording every single moment of the competition here today to make into a highlight reel later on.
Oh, absolutely, Canifit. For these players, obviously, having a highlight reel to show off on your YouTube is just going to attract more fans, and if you do well here today, your name's gonna come out there, so there's a lot on stake here for these MC5 YouTubers.
So guys, our first game today, which you can follow through the bracket, which I'll post into the chat right now, is going to be between Chronic and Scion Death. So as I mentioned Chronic before, with Pixel and the Black on the squad. Other members include some familiar faces. As we mentioned, the Black Zone, not the same person as the Black. I got confused about Black Zone helping organise things today, but also friend of the stream and general all-around Gucci guy, Shinsuke, I believe, will be making their return to the battlefield here today as well.
Oh yes, but you know what, kind of Pixelito is there too, so a lot of these players that we do know and love from these ESL competitions are going to show us that obviously they are still some of the best players in MC5. I'm looking forward to seeing them back in action here today, but try over on YouTube asking how can I join the tournament. Unfortunately, the tournament is closed off as of yet, so you can't join up now, but in future competitions you might be able to join.
Yes, so do let Gameloft know. Make comments on the these video whatever platform you're on right now, saying that you'd like to join in future competitions, and we can absolutely pass them along. Currently, there's only the plans for this one tournament, so guys, do make the most of it. Whether you be a MC5 YouTuber or any of our other players, I mean, we talk about what this could be worth for our YouTubers, but you know, if you win out here, then maybe you could start your own YouTube career crowing about the fact that you crushed all the other ones.
Is that what you would do, kind of fit? But then, of course, it would mean that you would have to crush people in the first place.
I don't believe you would even doubt the possibility. Oh, the videos I would make. It would be about half MC5 gameplay footage and half of the freshest memes.
Well, I do know that you are quite a memer, good sir, so I would definitely follow that YouTube to just see you meme the heck out of people in MC5. I know we've been trolled quite a few times. I remember back in the day when everyone changed their name to Counterfeit.
Yes, and Gladiator Games being the perpetrator of such shenanigans. Appalling! And of course he made a video out of it. So, I mean, you know, I can't really blame our players for taking advantage of those opportunities they create for themselves. Gladiator Games, speaking of them, is up in the upper bracket right now, so they'll be going straight into round 2. This is our only round 1, but I believe we're going to be bringing you guys a few of the different ones from round 2, because that's when we get 4 teams against each other before heading to the semi-finals and an eventual grand finals, which will be best of 5.
Cross my fingers all the way, kind of fit, but I'm sure we're gonna have so much great MC5 action here today. The players surely gonna come in here any moment, ladies and gentlemen, so do not go anywhere. But if you are quick, you can go and grab some popcorn, perhaps some soda, depending on where you are around the world. I know right now it's 6:15 in the evenings, like it is popcorn time.
It's always popcorn time when we're talking about our Android players. You know, dealers, it's in recent times, particularly, well, I guess the more recent times on MC5 scene, we've been seeing so much good play from the Android players that it's a treat that particularly we get to revisit them for this special one-off tournament.
Well, I have been missing them, kind of fit. I missed casting with you as well. And I've missed watching MC5. Like, I don't get my daily doses anymore. That is unfortunate. But you know what? Here today, I'm going to get all the MC5 that I can love. And the viewers, on top of that too, will be able to watch their favorite YouTubers, who they can then later on catch up with on their YouTube pages.
That's true. I believe that there was a video done by Gladiator Games with links to all of the content creators who are taking part today, as well as mentioned before, some very familiar faces from the ESL side of things. Of course, we haven't even had a chance to say anything about Hero Gaming Simon, our wonderful moderator in the chat. Hero Gaming Simon, all the love in the world, has been around for, I think, probably the most MC5 streams out of anybody.
Oh yes, of course, kind of fit. They are always the first one in and the last one to leave, so Hero Gaming Simon definitely deserves a huge applause. But you know what, kind of fit, just having them here today does mean that we can sing Hero Gaming Simon's praises. We tell them how important they are to the entire MC5 community.
Absolutely, for sure. Yes, feeling the love. Hey, Doxy, over on the Twitch. And Argentas Estuardo Santeles Villatoro wants us to speak some Spanish. It's been a while. Do you think you're up to it?
Y es la uno, dos, tres.
Yeah, I think it's probably about as good as I can do it.
Yeah, I think I missed something in there, but I'm not 100% sure. But you know what kind of fit? Now it's your turn. And also, Abigail Allen, or Abby's Life as a gamer as they're known now, has also started their own YouTube. So, ladies and gentlemen, since we're talking so much about YouTubers, you should go over and check Abigail Allen's life as a YouTuber.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing right now as we wait for that first game to get set up. I mean, this has been one of the big treats of working in the MC5 scene. There's been so many good content creators going around, you know, from people who are just starting out to folks who've been around for a very, very long time. There's been a lot of names that have come through the MC5 scene, but we very much appreciate you guys coming through as... let's see, what's Abigail Allen doing about? Oh gosh, all sorts of stuff. Apex Legends, Fortnite, and NBA 2K20.
Oh man, I've never played NBK, but I have played some FIFA in the past. I've never been very good at it. So I can definitely admire anyone who can figure out how to play those sports games kind of it. But with that being said, I believe we are heading on to our first battlefield of today.
Alright, let's get things started. So, once more, welcome back to Android once again for Modern Combat 5 action. This will be our only time for quite some time, so I hope you guys enjoy the living heck out of it. We have got Scion Death in the red over on the right hand side, and then we've got Chronic, otherwise known as Huawei, over in the blue.
Off to a good start here for Chronic / Huawei, Black Zone and Pixelito. Coming in with a double kill here to begin with, kind of fit. You know how much these early kills they matter, so getting them to begin with is a very good start here for Chronic.
Let's take a look at those early numbers. Black Zone and Pixelito both getting a very strong start as Black Zone's keeping the air support coming in for the Chronic squad. Scion Death, they're in real trouble here in our only round 1 match. Pixelito's keeping the pressure up, and Scion Death are trapped within the structure.
It's all about developing that lead from the very start, and Chronic are very much off to do that. Right now, 800% more kills than Scion Death. Obviously, that sounds a bit spiked, and considering Scion Death only have 1, it does make a huge difference, kind of. But nonetheless, Chronic, all you need to know is that they have a gigantic lead. And Scion Death, they have a huge task ahead of them.
Pixelito doing amazing stuff. Black Zone as well for the Chronic team. Honestly, eye-watering. As we said before, our team's really looking forward to getting it into the very top of the competition, those top 3 places. As we do start to see a couple of kills coming back. Let's look and see. So it's actually just down to 2 players on the Scion squad. It might be their members have checked out early.
Well, kind of fit. To be fair, they are getting a bit of a smash right now, but as a team, you should always stick together. You should stay cool and keep on communicating, because things can only turn around when you are in such a dire situation. Plus, you can learn a lot rather from this situation that you're finding yourself in, and you can learn a lot about your opponent's playstyle too.
I mean, as we look at what we've got here from the Chronic side of things, it's worth noting specifically that we've got a team where every single member, well, up until recently, was using a different class, just switching from Sniper over to support. But we've got Sniper, we've got Assault, we've got double support coming in. So, it's since we've had the nerfs to the Marauder class, I'm hoping that this applies to the more, to the general game as well. But right now, certainly under this rule set, the game looking pretty balanced.
Definitely is kind of fit. But you know what? I think the teams don't look that balanced. Scion Death right now behind by nearly 20 kills. Not looking too good for them at all, and they just need to keep it up. But unfortunately, when you only have 2 members, it makes it really hard, especially in a game like MC5, where it's all about that deathmatch and respawning on top of that. So a huge problem right now is what Scion Death are finding themselves in.
Yeah, I really like Scion to keep doing what they're doing now, which is to try and control the fighting into a very small area of the map. just down the side you can see here. Unfortunately, they've not been able to stand up against the Chronic squad, which I think might have been possible under other circumstances, but right now, very much not the case.
No, it's definitely not looking good at all, kind of fit, but for Chronic, they are looking dominating, and I honestly can't wait to see how far they'll be able to go here in today's competition. If they can perform as well as they're doing right now, which is what we know as their standard from the ESL competitions, surely this is a team that could go all the way and that you need to be scared of.
So we can almost at the stage of being able to do an after-action report here, as Pixelito definitely going off 15-4 so far. That's a score we expect to only see grow further and further, but all credit to Safi on the other side, managing to get up to 12 kills under these circumstances is honestly pretty amazing.
You know, well, fighting a lot and getting into those fights against Chronic does make a huge difference, but you're right, kind of fit. Finding 12 kills when you are in such a position where you're not getting a lot of support from your team members, you're not really finding that foundation to win these duels. It is then very impressive that you can find so many kills as Safi has found, but then you look over to their teammates, 24 deaths so far, not a very good look.
I mean, it's hard because you're not used to playing as a two-person against a four-person team for the most part. You don't get that many opportunities to figure out what tactics make the most sense, but certainly that is a convincing round one, or game one victory, round one still to conclude. But Chronic get the first point of the competition, and of course, Pixelito, the shiniest of the shinies.
Well, that goes without saying, kind of fit. Black Zone and Pixelito always dominate their games. And the same goes here in this one. But congratulations to them. And now that means that they are going to look a bit better right here in this one game. Kind of fit. I do believe it's a best of 3, right?
Yes. It will be best of 3 all the way up to the grand finals themselves. But guys, while we wait for that second game to get set up, we're gonna see if we can sneak you guys onto stream using the passkey ESL123, or what's it in Spanish, dealers? What is it in Spanish? Do you remember?
ESL123.
We got most of the way there.
Well, I tried. I think that's all I can say.
All right, so ESL123. We're gonna open things up on the street. On Android, we'll go by the regular ESL rules. Excuse me, I don't know. My setup here is spamming with calendar reminders of this very tournament. So do come and join us, and we'll get as much of a game in before the next round starts as we can.
Well, kind of, did you remember to stream this tournament now that you are getting so many notifications? Are you dreaming? Pinch yourself in the arm right now.
Oh,
Make sure that you're not dreaming.
It turns out I was dreaming.
Well, does that mean that I'm not real?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, what an interesting idea. Well, guess we can only figure everything out if... I don't know, yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but you're definitely not dreaming. I do believe I'm both alive and a real boy.
That is exciting times to be alive. To be sure. I mean, if you're not sure of those kind of things, I imagine it must be, a little bit tough. There we go, retiring Sad, and there we go, Abigail Allen making their way in. So I think we're going to have our second game between Necrotic and Silent Death pretty darn soon, so we'll just try and get this one started as soon as we've got a startable game. Dark ESI loves MC5. Aww. Well, I'm sure it loves you too.
Wait, Counterfeit. Dark Inside doesn't only love MC5, it is his love. So that means that there's no other loves for Dark Inside than MC5.
That is a nuance I did not pick up on.
Yeah, it's very, very cute.
We've got 2 on each side, which means we've got enough to start this game. FPI Rip There we go, just sneaking in at last second. I think our next lobby is coming up momentarily. So we'll get this one started. As I do a little bit of housework on making sure that our scene is ready to go for custom games. Whoop.
Well, I'm excited to see some more custom games, Confit. It's not that often that we get to experience all of those custom games, but here's the day. We're gonna see what the community can also bring besides those community streamers.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is one of the reasons why we find it important to put out these community games. As part of this content creator-centric competition, this is a huge platform for any of you guys who do want to play on an MC5 team to create an impression. FBI Rip doing a pretty good job of that so far.
Yeah, finding one kill to begin with, but retiring Sad comes in and picks up a few more kills. Can they find one more? No, goes down to FBI Rip, so I think that means that FBI Rip is the best of those two.
Mafia Business rocking the tier 1 shotgun. A lot of respect for a player who's willing to dive into the fiercest competition. With only minimal equipment, you gotta steal as many weapons as you can to make sure that you're equipped, but I like the Mafia's managed to pick up a kill irrespective of operating with the most basic equipment.
Sometimes you just need that basic equipment, Comfort. You don't need all these fancy toys, all those fancy weapons in order to win against your opponent. So, no. Sometimes just having a standard pistol is the best.
Yeah, I mean, the melee works the same either way. I mean, what we've got from our players coming in here, is that we will tend to play with tier 7 weapons on the stream, so hopefully that will make it a little bit easier for any of you guys who are maybe haven't got all of the prestige weapons unlocked as of yet, to basically just not have to worry about it. And that you can play with the tier 7. I mean, when we were running the ESL competitions, then those would be tier 7 as well. And sometimes people, there are weapons which are even lower tier than that still found use. Like, for example, the Bosk for the recon.
Yeah, well, if there's one thing that you can be sure of, then it is that these strong MC5 players, these professional MC5 players as well, they can figure out what the best weapons they are. So I would always just follow the meta that they are putting out there.
I think right now FBI RIP and Kenny S both making a pretty good impression, as this pickup group does seem to perhaps be a little bit unbalanced. Hopefully we'll end up with FBI and Kenny's on different teams next time round. Oh gosh. Let's see, can I turn off this cam now?
Yes, stop snoozing, mate. You're supposed to be casting right now. You don't need to sleep anymore.
But everything's a dream. Let's see. Wow. Well, there we go. Kenny using the... not actually a golden Bramson, but it might as well be. Certainly with enough shyness to call loosely. Hey, Mafia Business. You're our favourite underdog player right now. 2-9. 3-9. There we go. Taking down Swatline with a headshot and stealing a tier 2. That's... he was using your maths from before, D-List. That's a twice as good weapon.
Yeah, well, if someone knows how to do maths. Personally, I would probably not have picked up that weapon because I don't know how to do maths. I think 2 + 2 is 5, right?
I mean, it depends what systems of maths you're using, I'm sure. From a certain point of view, it's true. Oh no, Mafia left. Well, that's too bad. So guys, we will set up another game after this if our game number 2 of our ESL competition is not ready to go. But until that point, just keep on joining us, keep on having a good old time. And I think we're going to run out of points for this game. And so we'll have to come back in again and start up a new game on a new map.
I'm not sure you can run out of points, though I'm sure that someone can gain the maximum amount of points and win.
Well, that's what I mean. We've got a limit of 50 in the game, such as we do for... Actually, no, I'm going to make this one a bit bigger just so it's more obvious. ESL 123. So the same passkey we'd use all the time on ESL. Terry AA. Hey, how's it going?
And Franco Benitez asks, what person play MC5 in 2020? Well, kind of it. I know you play MC5 in 2020. What kind of person are you?
I'm only the best kind of player. Let's see. Well, we've got in this current tournament, there are 71 players playing as part of the various different teams. And a lot of these players have been around for a very long time. So I guess those guys. And I hope, Franco, that you give it another try as well. If you haven't played for a while, I think that there's been a few tweaks around, and especially with the rule set we play under for our community games, and in this case, a slightly different rule set for the competition itself. That's actually something which we were talking about before it all started, actually, which I don't think we ever got round to sort of knowing for sure, is whether the change in this tournament of allowing tier 5 armor was going to bring back the popularity of snipers who couldn't be taken out as easily from longer ranges.
Well, kind of it. Talking about which players play MC5 in 2020, I'll say if you find a game that you enjoy, you should just hang on to it. And honestly, MC5 is enjoyed by quite a lot of people. And to be fair, it is a fun game once you get a hang on it, once you really get those strong weapons. I really feel like then MC5 just pops up and really becomes that competitive game that everyone knows and loves.
Yeah, I mean, certainly for any of you guys who come into this and are looking at it as a new player, there are weapons which at tier 1 which are pretty reasonable. The Recon's Saber, I believe that's the tier 1 Recon. It's been a while since I've used that particular gun. But we've seen people use that in the ESL competitions and have a pretty good job of it. I can't remember exactly when it happened that the tier 1 weapons kind of got buffed up a bit, but they are viable.
Yeah, they definitely are kind of it. I mean, every weapon is viable if you make it so. Obviously, it does sound a little bit cliche saying that everyone can win with every weapon. Obviously some weapons are stronger, but usually having a good aim and having the raw mechanics to make that weapon work is just more important.
So High Tech Gamer is talking about the idea of, well, basically mobile gaming or mobile first person shooting is that there is always going to be a progression system to unlock extra weapons. I think the intention ultimately is always going to be that, yes, as you say, better play is going to trump what particular weapon you're using. But, I don't know. Any of our experienced players, do let us know what you guys think as well. Dark ESI is a fan of the grinder, so that's one of the prestige weapons up at the very top. Very popular for a reason. Oh gosh. There must be a do not disturb mode on this one, but I apologize, guys.
Well, you're on an iPad, right? How to turn off alarms? iPad. I think you need to open the clock app. At least that's what the Google says.
Yeah, so I think I'll have to... I don't think I can duck out of here while we're doing this stream. So, it's one of those things where it's kind of, it's a little bit irritating, but it's not enough to really stop the games being played. So I think we might just have to live with it, and I'll just have to minimize it each time it comes up. Hopefully, at some point, it will go away, but I don't know. Let's get our next game started, ESL 123. Do come and join us, and we'll have ourselves a grand old time as we work our way towards the second competitive game. Well, I say competitive game. Second competition game of today.
We're still waiting to get that passkey kind of fit for the next game in the Android community, content, well, and community, I guess, creator tournament. But the players, they are just taking their time getting in there and obviously still keeping themselves warm. So some of them, I believe, have been playing in these community games too.
Oh, so Elliot Areno asking if there's any iOS games today. There won't be today. I'm afraid today's tournament is just going to be on Android. But if you'd like to see iOS streams, do post about it in the chat or send a message across to the Modern Combat social media. yeah, this for a lot of the. Sorry, let me restart that. So this will be a one-off competition. If you guys would like to see more, you definitely will need to let Gameloft know. This isn't a decision we're making; it's a Gameloft decision. So yeah, send them messages, post on their social media if this is something that you guys would like to see more of. But yeah, for right now, this is just on Android. This is our content creator channel. Not everyone's a content creator, because we don't have 70 content creators on tap. But we've got a fair amount of familiar faces from ESL competition and from YouTube scattered around, ready to take to the field of battle.
Yeah. So, a bunch of content creators all in all, kind of it. Definitely makes it a fun time for all the viewers just to see if they can spot all those YouTubers, and but also just seeing what your favorite YouTuber is doing is always going to be real fun for some of these for the viewers rather, to see how the YouTubers perform. And well, if perhaps they could be what I'm trying to say is also that they might be able to play with those YouTubers in these community games if they are lucky, of course.
Yeah, it's also a nostalgia trip to be able to see Hero Gaming Simon playing, as well as SWAT Allen. Both of them around the scene for a very, very long time. I believe Kenny S as well, and almost certainly some of the other players whose names I'm rather cruelly forgetting here. Hero Gaming, not doing too badly. Not doing too badly. I think it's become a very chaotic community game. But I want most of all for Hero to win.
14 to 20 kind of it does seem a bit chaotic. Hero Gaming 2-5, so even though Hero Gaming Simon usually are over in that YouTube chat, right now doing pretty fine actually. 2 kills to a 5 and 5 deaths isn't that bad, and it's I've seen worse kind of it, but then again I've also played with you, and you played with me, of course.
Oh man. Oh man, the soap opera that is our casting relationship has evidently regressed from before. I thought we agreed to only say positive building statements, Dealers. Positive building statements.
You are good at MC5 outside the competitive circuit.
I think it's fair to say that, yes, in both of our cases we are definitely not pro players. I mean, if we were, we'd be playing on the pro teams.
That's true. That's true. I've never gotten that close to being a semi-professional in MC5. I used to be it in TF2 fairly successfully, but then I messed up my hand, and I'm not sure if I had to do all those flicks again. It would be super good for that hand. But then again, Confid, I enjoy being here and casting with you, so having your company does make it all a bit better.
Ah, well, I'm glad to let you relive those glory days, even if, yes, I think, I think even now, it's, people don't necessarily take the best care of themselves, just because the whole thing of playing competitive video games is still a very new field, and I think, it's not maybe for lack of trying, but just people not realizing that the kind of injuries you can pick up while playing PC games, mobile games, any kind of games, are real and potentially career-ending.
Well, there's always... I'm not sure how easily translated into English this idiom is, but in Danish there is a saying which goes, there's always a backside of the medal. I'm not sure if you have the same thing in English, but basically just says that even though you can be the very best at a sport, let's say football or MC5 or climbing, there's always going to be a backside to that. That's also always going to be something that has to be given up in order to be the very best.
Oh, I see. Yes, I think that's fair. Like, as a kind of a general idea of competitive play, that you're right. I think that kind of holds true for a lot of things. If you want to be good at MC5, if you want to be good at anything, you're going to have to make some degree of sacrifice, whether that be just playing a ton of games, just playing for a few hours every single day or more. If someone else is willing to do that and you're not, then they're always, going to be ahead of you unless you have a completely different approach to the game than they do.
Oh, that's a good point, kind of it. good points all in all, but it does look like we are about to get our second game here in the content creator tournament up and running. So do you think Cyan can make that comeback kind of fit? What we saw from Chronic was pretty damn dominating, so I personally think it's going to be an uphill battle, but if anyone can do it, then it would be them.
Well, this time round the Cyan team are hosting, so if it was anything to do with having some connection issues, you know, the server that we're playing off of, then I imagine that this is going to be favouring Cyan if they ever are going to be, in terms of any kind of connection issues. I mean, we saw Safi last time round, they picked up 14 kills by the end of the game, which was almost as good as what Pixel was putting out, who admittedly got 19, but, you know, it's in the same ballpark, and when you're being shot from 4 different angles constantly, to actually even get 14 kills at all is amazing.
Yeah, well, you're definitely right, kind of fit. So if Safi, rather, sorry, can have that foundation around them, then it's going to be making a huge difference here for Cyan. And obviously, as you pointed out, having them be the ones to host will also make a difference this time around. So let's see how it will all go. I'm excited to see if Cyan can turn things around. They do have Safi, so the foundation to do it is there. They just need to build around Safi.
So let's take a quick look for the chat and just see what folks are talking about. So High Tech Gamer, is voice chat coming from multiplayer? I believe it's already in multiplayer for Android and iOS, and on PC people just tend to use Discord anyway. So I don't think it's coming in for PC. Let's see what other questions are coming in. Aladdin Kanaya? I apologise for sorting the name there. Can you bring back the League logo that you have on the screen? Oops. So I get for not locking my screen there. I throw it all the way off the side. Let's get into our next game and see how things are. So there were some questions on Facebook about whether or not there will be any future balance. If you guys could let us know what kind of things you'd like to see change balance-wise in the game right now, because the Marauder did recently get, you know, pretty heavily nerfed as we get stuck into this game, and Pixel Eater does well. But for everything else, I'm not aware of what is considered to be overpowered right now.
No, I am on your side as well, Confit. I haven't really been talking that much to these pro players, and we haven't been getting that action in, so we can't know for sure what is super strong. But it does seem that some of these pro players, they have a different approach to how the settings should be in these competitive matches, considering that right now we're not playing with the standard ESL rules.
Yes, so that's one of the things to remember as well. You'll notice that down in the bottom right that each of these players has 4 cores locked in right now, which means they have a lot more flexibility. You'll see, you know... Oh, actually no, this is worth noting as well. Amongst those 4 cores, something you won't see is the Glutton core, that extra hit points, which is pretty much ubiquitous in ESL competition, is banned out here. And so, you know, there are other options freed up now that everyone's health drops.
It might get changed around kind of though once the ESL competition gets back in order, but for now we are playing with these settings, and Cyan Def once again struggling here in this game. Not having a 5-man lineup makes a huge difference when you're going up against some of the best that MC5 have ever seen. Chronic / Railway, as we do also know, as they've been called before, currently right now just completely taking Cyan down. And Cyan, even though Safi is doing fine against 6-9, they need to have a full man lineup in really to deal with Chronic.
It's a better situation, a much closer game. You know, if we're talking about between the two teams, that it was pretty far away when it was 4 versus 2. Now it's somewhat close, or at least it has been, when it's 3 versus 4. I presume, following that logic, that if we did see a full 4 versus 4, that this could in fact be very even, but for right now, it looks like this game is spiraling out of control in favor of Chronic.
Oh, it definitely is, kind of. It's just going faster and faster, and Chronic and Black Zone looking so absolutely unstoppable right now. Blackstone sitting on around, what, like 10 kills. But right here, JP, 11-11. That is the scoreline that you want to see from all of these Siren Death members. But if only one of them are performing to this level, then it just means that Chronic, they have an easy time just focusing on that one player and taking down them alongside the rest.
Yeah, I mean, we've got those good scorelines. We've got 11 and 12. JP is definitely standing out here for the Siren Death side of things. As we got the charging up the stairs, Tobias Black is put in the ground. Pixelito, instant revenge. Nice turn back there from the Siren members as they're starting to stabilize the game, but we have already got a Chronic team above 40 points. Time is very short.
It definitely is. They now have 8 more kills before Chronic they win this counterfeit. Siren Death, they need to stop bleeding. They need to stop giving up kills. And it's just not happening. Kills are being found left and right and center right here by those Chronic members. 6 more and this will be over. 2 minutes and 55 seconds is the time that Chronic they have to find this. And I don't see a world where Siren Death can stop this, considering how close Chronic they are.
Chronic, they only need to win this game to head to round number 2 of our competition here today. Siren, they are acquitting themselves pretty darn well towards the end there, almost managing to break 40 points themselves, but time is almost over for them. Black Zone and Pixelito pick up the final 2 kills, while Siren Death did so much better in game number 2. They will be out of the competition now, and Chronic will move forward. You see Pixelito again rocking in those major numbers. 17 and 12. Twice as many deaths as last time round. Black Zone managing to match up with a very similar record as well. So we'll be keeping our eyes out on those two going forward. For now, let's get you guys back on to the stream. ESL 1, 2, 3. We will make this a break game, so you guys will be shown on stream playing, but we'll be taking a break from the commentary just to get everything sorted out for the next game. So do come and join us, and then we'll get you all on your way. Alright, let's see, where shall we go? Let's go to the museum.
Oh, whoops. Apparently I muted myself. I was sitting here talking, I was like, you interrupted me, how rude. But, you know, it does mean that we now have all teams in those quarterfinals. That's going to be exciting to see how it all turns out.
Yeah, it should be a grand old time. So let's get you guys updated on that bracket then if we can. I don't know if it's been fully updated as of yet, but let's get the link out into the chat at least. And let's also get the invites to this game put as Falling comes in. So, the Gladiator will be going up against the Rookies. Soldiers against Our Promise. Imperishable versus Chronic after their win over Siren Death. And Mustang Esports versus Imp Forever. Let's see. So we have got a list here of what games we're going to be showing. So I think we're going to be going into the upper part of the quarterfinals. So Rookie versus the Gladiator, I believe, should be our next game.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing how it all will turn out, kind of fit. But for now, though, I'm still just looking forward to this great game as well. I always love seeing how the community performs and see them just match up against each other, because obviously there's a huge difference between what the community plays and what the pro players play. And, you know, it's always interesting to just see what the differences they are and why those differences are coming out.
Alright guys, so we'll just be having music for the next 7 minutes or so. So enjoy the community game and we'll be back once this game is done. Welcome back, friends across the globe. Let's have a quick check in and see how things are going with the tournament itself. I think we are still gearing up for our next game, so with that being in mind, let's open up to you guys once again. Daedalus, shall we mix things up a little bit and try a different game mode?
Ooh, you know, I do love me a good old capture the flag. I know you're not a big fan of it. But alternatively, we could go for cargo.
Well, let's give capture the flag a try.
Okay.
I'm not against the idea of capture the flag by any means. I just think that I don't know if any of the, maybe someone else can correct me on this, but I don't know if any of the MC5 maps are really made for it. Like, I don't know. To be fair, I don't actually have a huge amount of capture flag experience to say with definitively, you know, you need to have a capture flag specific map, or at least a variant map. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I can follow what you're saying. And I do somewhat agree with you. I don't think that MC5 have a perfect map for it, but I mean, it only gets more popular if people they start to play the game.
All right, so let's see what you guys have been saying. Hey, Black Zone's been in the chat, as well as helping out with the tournament itself. Dean PTA, you're a female player who loves playing MC5. Oh, cool. Over on our YouTube, I don't know if Abigail Allen's still around, who's one of our more prominent female players, who's just started up doing some YouTube stuff. So Abigail, I don't know if you're still around. Will you be doing any MC5 on your YouTube? As I think we might need to do a quick client restart. Just a second. Oh, servers are temporarily overloaded. Too much MC5. Ah!
Wait, can you? Is that a thing? Can you get too much MC5?
I mean, we've just proven the possibility. That's right. During the break, I got my coffee, so I've recovered my energy once again. Wait.
Oh, I should have gone down and grabbed a cup of tea, but you know, I didn't, and I definitely, I'm sad that I didn't kind of fit.
Okay. So I'm just gonna do a quick. I think I might actually still need to do a quick client restart. So I'm just gonna do that now. Yoka Nuri, can you play with us? Why, yes, you can. Well, that's what we're getting set up with at the moment. Use the passkey ESL123. Okay, that's right. I got tagged, but it wasn't anything to do with this. If you're on Android, you can come and play live on stream. So, on iOS and on PC, myself and/or Daedalus will tend to take part, but on Android, we just sit by the sidelines and watch. So we rely on you guys to be there to take center stage and to provide us with some top quality MC5.
Well, I do kind of enjoy getting a bunch of top quality MC5. So I wouldn't mind having some of these players come in and show us how it's done. Once again, of course, because they tend to do that quite a lot.
So if we're gonna go for capture the flag, speaking as a former Team Fortress 2 player, which is much more of an objective-focused game, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
What would you think would be the most sensible map to try out capture the flag on Android?
Ooh. I think a map like construction site should be good.
All right.
Because it's fairly open, but there's also different ways for you to approach the bases. So obviously you have to think about how you're moving and what your strategy is in the actual game.
Oh,
depending on your position, of course.
Oh, I 100% agree, and hopefully we'll get to see that here, right here and now. But we have got an update from Gladiator Games, so I didn't realize it actually played their game already, because they're saying that they lost their third round by the tiebreaker. So I presume they mean they went into overtime and lost there. That's a real shame, Gladiator Games. We were hoping to have you on stream today.
Well, sometimes it's just not meant to be, but you know what? Would have loved to see Gladiator Games come out as well, one of those old profiles in MC5. But sometimes it's just not meant to be.
So invites are going out. We've got Falling and Bixby. No, I totally agree with the reasoning here. So the capture the flag on construction sites seems to make the most sense in terms of, like, hopefully you can correct me here if I'm wrong on this, but my understanding of capture the flag is you kind of, ideally you want like a kind of a 3-lane kind of map where you've got your base which has a flag in it, and you've got 3 different approaches so that you have to make a commit. You can either, if you keep your guys back, you can't aggress and get the flag, but you can't support each other. So it's not just a team fight. And whoever wins that team fight gets the flag.
No, that's right, kind of it. And for a capture the flag map as well, you do want there to be basically some symmetry, but still an idea about how there's going to be differences in the way that you approach your opponent's base. If you understand what I'm saying.
Ooh, well, we're not going to get Gladiator Games playing it in the competition, but we are going to get them on the stream. So, Gladiator Games, thank you for joining us for this Capture the Flag. And we'll reiterate this for any of our content creators, because this is a content creator tournament after all. That please do go check them out. Gladiator Games, you're a Spanish-speaking MC5 fan, just search up Gladiator Games on YouTube. You can find their channel. They've got some really, really good content on there. So I definitely recommend it. Honestly, the quality of of some of the top YouTubers who've got doing MC5 stuff is just eye-wateringly good.
Oh, absolutely. That's the reason why they are the top MC5 content creators, kind of it. So, obviously, you should always go check them out and see what's going on in the MC5 community and at the very top level of MC5.
So we've got Relax Gaming and Gladiator Games. I believe they might have even been on the same team as each other. Let's have a quick checkaroo. Let's see, so Gladiator Games, Relax Gaming, Sniper Ranger, all on the same squad. So with that in mind, it means that we actually have our first semi-final set. So that's Rookies versus Our Promises. So we'll await our update as to when that's next going to be coming up. Yes, it was a 2-1 game with Rookies over Gladiator. Oh man. Well, hopefully. And so, we'll reiterate this a bunch of times, that if you guys want to see more MC5 competitive play, then you'll need to let Gameloft know by posting on the social media pages, or just indeed posting in the chat or on Facebook, because that's the kind of thing that they can pass along and say that there is a hunger for these kind of events. And we hope that, you're an invested MC5 player, that you've come along and spent your afternoon, morning, or evening with us today.
Absolutely. The more you push for MC5, the better and more likely it is that it will come back. Kind of and I obviously are doing what we can, but we do need the community to support us in our quest to have more MC5 action on streams.
So right now in the Capture the Flag stakes, this is quite interesting actually. The flags are in a different place than I would have expected, and I think it actually works quite well. Because if you put the flags at the north and south of the map, I think it's too open.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose the only thing which I'm missing on this map is I kind of feel like people shouldn't be spawning where the flag is. Like, at least not directly where the flag is. I feel like you should be making a distinct choice. I'm going back to defend the flag. It doesn't just happen by default.
Yeah, I can get behind that sentiment, and I think that for a capture the flag, what is important too is that you have a lot of different ways that you can defend that actual flag. It's not, it shouldn't be about, or it shouldn't just be all about those duels, but forcing you into a position where you have to go through some defenders. Like right there, you can see if it's down in that tunnel, having to fight against people who are defending that tunnel makes it so much harder. But that's also a part of the strategy of these type of games, where you have to actually go through your opponents. That you can't just ignore them.
So I'm receiving an update from Aiden, who is the YouTuber who has put together today's competition, and this is their very first one, so do please show some love for Aiden if you come across them in the chat, or if you're indeed part of the tournament. Apparently the promised rookies game, which we were hoping to see, has already gone through game number 1, so I think Aiden's discovering the wonders of adminhood and how tricky it is to get players to do anything you are supposed to be doing.
Yeah, well, communication is the way to go in these type of situations, but it's always going to be hard to get players to communicate. Obviously, they're here to play, and sometimes they forget that they do have to talk to admins as well.
Yeah, so much love to our ESL admins who got us through so many ESL competitions, though it's worth bearing in mind this is not an official ESL competition or even an ESL affiliated. So if you guys do spot any ESL logos which may be left over from when it was being done for ESL before, then let me know and I'll make sure they're taken off stream. As, hey, that actually seemed to work pretty well. People seem to be having a good time with the capture the flag. I'm kind of curious, like, whether you, Deedless, or indeed anyone else would like to see, you know, if ESL does come back, if people demand it enough, and it only comes back if people do demand it, whether they want to have capture the flag as part of the game modes.
Ooh, I'm pretty sure that right now over in, I believe the ESL feedback, that right now there's talk about changing the, the tiebreaker game mode.
Oh yeah?
Because right now it's rushed. And there's ideas being thrown around whether or not to make it capture the flag or zone control. Right now, it seems more people are interested in capture the flag than zone control, but there is some talk about changing that up.
Interesting. Well, I mean, Rush hasn't been the deciding game mode for quite a long time, but it certainly used to be the case. So I know that's kind of cool. So that wasn't that long ago. That was only about a week or so ago. So if any of you guys are on the ESL Modern Combat Discord. Let's just see, which is discord.gg/ESL Modern Combat. Then do go in there, drop a vote as if you'd like to see the rules change. That's encouraging actually that the rules discussion is happening, because that does suggest there's a little bit more weight behind the idea of it picking up again down the line.
Well, I do think it's pretty cool that you have a chance to actually affect the game that you're part of and the community, that you get a say in what the settings should be. So I think that's a opportunity that everyone should take an active part in, because that is not every single game where you get that opportunity.
Yeah, it means the current ESL rules set, the tier 7 weapons and below, the tier 3 armor and below are entirely community generated initially. Excuse me. There were no restrictions in place whatsoever. But I feel like it's really gotten to the place it is right now because of you guys voting which ways you want to see things go. And so let's get this free for all started. Our next game is going to be, let's see. Okay, I think I may have been a little bit confused about what I was saying before. Rookies versus our promise apparently will be our next game, despite perhaps some miscommunication about the otherwise. So hey, that should be a grand old time. For now, let's leave it up to Gladiator, Sniper Ranger, Zasky, and Manhattan, I think, to show us how to navigate everyone's favourite place out in the cold and wet. It's the rooftops.
And I love a good rooftop counterfeit. You do know that for a fact. So, personally, I am looking forward to watching this one and see how the teams they're going to, the players are going to play. The rooftop, such an interesting map in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very different from what we would see on any other of the maps. And I think as a free-for-all map, it's particularly interesting because you've got all of these different levels to play with. Falling, making it good on their name there by dropping through the roof. Unfortunately, doesn't find anyone, and Gladiator Games right behind them. In free-for-all, we certainly expect to see a lot of recons. as their ability to be just a little bit less obvious when you're picking a fight, not showing up as much on the radar, and allowing you to get away without necessarily always getting a kill traded back onto you.
The Sniper Ranger it's sitting at 5 kills in total. Antonio looking for a kill right here. I'm not sure it's onto Sniper Ranger. No. Sniper Ranger coming in with number 1. Goes down though, and Antonio G slowly catching back up.
Yeah, good going for Antonio as well. Of course, these are our number 1 and number 2 players, so these players have had the longest to get those kills in there. But you guys can still join in with the ESL 1, 2, 3 all the way towards the end. Even if you can't necessarily top the table, you can certainly be a major part of it. Ooh, who's this? Sporting the skull and pink. On the Bramson, it's Hero Gaming Simon. The dance of death is here.
I love myself a good old pink gun, so Hero Gaming Simon, love what you're doing. Pink is my favorite color.
It's a very striking color. I'm trying to think. No, it's not pink that doesn't turn up in nature. There's some color that doesn't.
I'm sure pink turns up in nature. I'm sure there's pink flowers.
Yeah,
so
no,
was,
as soon as I thought that, I was like, no, that's definitely not right.
I was like, that seems like a very bold thing to say, and I'm not sure it is right. But I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, guys, let us know if any of you are aspiring smart people, and you know which colors do not show up in nature. Which colors are literally unnatural. Let us know, as Hero Gaming is doing pretty well with the most natural of Bramsons. 4 and 4 so far. Not too shabby at all. Of course, your deaths don't matter anywhere near as much as they would with a normal team game.
That is true, but it does depend on who you die to, kind of, because obviously there's going to be a huge difference in dying to someone who doesn't have a lot of kills, and then dying to the one with the most kills. So obviously, while it's hard to plan who you die to, there is a bit of a strategy in that department.
So we haven't received an update about our next game, which is Rookies versus Our Promise. We'll be playing on Scramble, Museum, and Street. So we've kind of got the Sniper Haven of Scramble. We've actually no, I'd say I think maybe from all of them, there's a possibility of having short-range firefights, but for the most part, I could see that being a fairly range-dominated series.
I will also be looking forward to that one, kind of it, but for now, seeing here on the rooftop, Gladiator Games sitting at the very top, Antonio G up at that top too, so it's a very close game here between the very top 3-4 players, I believe.
Let's take a look at those numbers. Gladiator Games and Antonio G, the number 1 and number 2, they're still up at the very tippy top, and you can see Gladiator's got the same kill-death ratio as Hero Gaming did before, 1-to-1. That doesn't stop you from being at the very top. As Bixby makes a nice pick up there. Let's see. So Bixby is actually the player who could conceivably catch up on those 2 top spots.
Gonna have to start working for it, kind of fit. There's only 2 minutes and 18 seconds left to go. So it's going to be a hard-fought battle to make it to the top. But with only 2 kills remaining, Bixby slowly getting up there. Now 1 more. This could be it. This could be Bixby now with a shared first place. Never mind about it being an uphill battle. Bixby says, screw you, dude. This is going to be me taking control.
Yeah, Bixby, real nice pickup there, especially coming in as not on the first couple, though number 3 is not too bad at all. Falling right in the center. Hero Gaming side, we check in with them again. As I think they're doing a little bit of looting. Oh, maybe not the right time for it though, as Gladiator Games is there to shoot them directly in the face.
Yeah, well, does go down. And Bixby and Gladiator Games still sitting at the very top, shared with 15-15. But Gladiator Games finds Audra, takes them down, and now Bixby can find one here, but no! Hero Gaming takes actually down Bixby. So suddenly Gladiator Games gets a chance to develop their lead.
Yeah, Hero Gaming being part of the decision making in this game, as the kills to pass backwards and forwards, glides the games. It's up at 17. Bixby has started to fall behind.
But even then, Counterfeit at 53 seconds left to go. Bixby's only behind by 1 kill, so I wouldn't count them out quite yet.
Alright, just gonna check in on our next upcoming game. There's every possibility we might be able to fit in another community game before we get started. Relax Gaming, thank you for letting Flavio Batista Nascimento know the passkey is ESL 123, ESL 123, or in Danish,
ESL 123. Now in German. ESL
123?
123, yeah, wait. My German is rusty.
My rusty is German. Yanni in the chat. Android gamers are cute. Oh boy, that's some fighting talk if I've ever heard it. I cannot wait for when that server merge happens between iOS and Android to see if Yanni is going to have to eat those words.
And Relax says, yes. So, totally agrees.
Oh man. Oh man.
Well, why not? Why not? I mean, some Android players can obviously be very cute. I mean, depends on if you're using it as an insult or if you're thinking that they actually are cute.
Come on, Daedalus. Let's get serious. It's an insult. It's a declaration of war between iOS and Android.
I believe in the very best of people Counterfeit.
It's a terrible, life-altering insult that will, let's see, there we go, that will be only decided when Android and iOS players get to clash, for reals.
For reals?
That's right, on the real battlefield, they will fight not just with guns, not just with explosions, but they'll be throwing their various Android and iOS devices at each other in a death match beyond death.
That sounds crazy.
But, you better believe it.
I dig it. I do want to see people throwing controllers at each other and consoles. Have you ever been to a LAN party where they do stuff like that? Because I know it's a tradition in Denmark to have like computer smashes and stuff like that. So people they're the ones that arrange these LAN parties, they pick up like old computers and then people get a chance to smash them.
Oh,
it's a very weird tradition. I don't know where it's from, but it is a huge thing in Denmark at LAN parties.
Oh, so it looks like we might actually have our next competition game.
Ooh.
So let's just check to see if the players are ready. If they are, we will switch across rather than starting this game. We'll put out the invite, so apologies if you guys end up joining this and we have to jump ship on it. But we don't want to leave you guys with an extended period of not having anything to do. Relax Gaming, welcome, and Falling as well. Let's see if we can grab a couple more people, get this one started, and then we'll probably have to jump out and get to business. As Sniper Ranger, hello, how you doing? Okay, it looks like our players are pretty much ready to start. So I'll do one more invite, start this game up, and then we'll... Oops, sorry, Antonio. Just chucked you out there.
Let's go, Counterfeit.
And
are you hyped for even more MC5 action between some of the best players in the Android scene?
I'm very much looking forward to seeing... I was worried we weren't actually going to get to see Rookies versus Promise. I thought it had actually gone forward. Fortunately, very much not the case. We do have an update on our rivalry of the ages between iOS and Android, though. Yanni, who we called out before for their less than the kind words towards the Android players, has claimed that they are up for a fight between iOS and Android. I have to think when the server merge happens, I will see if we can talk to the Gameloft guys and see if, when the server merge happens, if we could have a specific tournament between the iOS and Android teams. Because I think that would be a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I think having the servers merged together as well is just going to make a huge difference for the entirety of MC5. Suddenly, some of the very best players from each platform can play together, and that's going to mean that the overall level of these players are going to go up. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it's really important. It's going to help with the quality of the games and the matchmaking, because the more players there are, the better chance there is of getting a match with with people at the same level. And notable as well in this game is Aiden, our tournament organizer over on the rookies side of things. As if they didn't have enough stuff to do already trying to herd the bunch of cats that are our team today, they are in fact themselves one of those cats.
Sure.
You seem somewhat perturbed by this idea of catception. Don't worry, it is, in fact, disturbing.
Yes, I'm not quite sure what I should say to the thing about cats. All I can say is I'm allergic, so please no.
I think if I was in your shoes, I would just say meow meow and then move on to a different subject entirely.
Meow meow. Do you who do you think is gonna win?
That's a great question. I think since we've got on the side of Promise Meliodas, and I remember from before Meliodas was very, very good, that I would favour Promise here. I mean, if we throw the bracket into the chat once again, Promise beat out Soldiers to get to this point, so for both of these teams, this is going to be their second game in the competition. I don't know. I think as well for Aiden, I mean, on the rookie side of things, Aiden is worrying about the whole tournament right now, so I don't know if they can be 100% focused coming into this game, knowing that they've got to be keeping half an eye out on their Discord to make sure that nothing is, on fire when it comes to the tournament itself.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something that we need to keep in mind, that Aiden is the one setting this entire tournament up, but kind of sometimes you just need to switch a flick, or flick a switch rather, inside your brain, and just say, okay, I need to go, and this is go time, so I need to not think about this, I need to not think about that, I just need to win this one and do my very best.
Yeah, I mean, this is something which is the classic concern for all of our players. There's in the context of the tournament, the time you spend playing is such a small amount of your time in the tournament itself. Because we're now coming up on an hour and a half through the competition, and the actual play time for our players is going to be a relatively minor amount of their experience compared to the amount of time they have to, they'll be waiting between games, or waiting between matches. And having to keep the focus up the entire time is one of the things which impresses me the most when players manage to pull it off.
Yeah, well, I think on top of that kind of you can make a case for them having to stay warm as well. They can't stop. They can't stop practicing. Like, they need to keep themselves up and ready. So they need to play games in between as well. That's going to be draining too. And they can't really take a break. They can't go away from their consoles, because if they need to be back in just a whiff, they need to be there. Plus, you're probably going to be sitting around and making plans with your team as well. Talking about strategies, talking about the teams that you know for certain that you're going to be facing up against.
We're waiting on the last couple of players coming in. Let's see, Panama. Oh, so Panama, as far as the Discord server goes, there's a specific server for the current tournament, but I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Probably the best place if you're looking for a Discord to talk to other MC5 fans would either be the ESL Modern Combat Discord, which is discord.gg/ESL Modern Combat, but there's also the main Modern Combat 5 server itself, which I don't know if it's actually got a specific... Let's see, what's the specific link to it?
Good question.
I don't know actually. No, I have to. Sorry, I'm just going to double check. Let's see. I will post it in the chat. Yes, it doesn't have a custom link as of yet. I think it isn't quite a big enough server. It's more new than the ESL one is. But that's the MC5 server in the Facebook and YouTube chat right now.
And obviously, in that one server, you can find teams to work with. Like, if you can get recruited for a team, you can start to build up that synergy, then that's going to make a huge difference. Sometimes, it's all about just building up that synergy. You don't necessarily need to have the very best players, but synergy goes a really long way.
So we're waiting on one more player to arrive before this upper semi-finals gets on its way. So while the winner of this series will go on to the finals, the loser will go into the third place match because the prizes are for the top three. So this isn't the end of the line completely for whichever team loses out here, but you're guaranteed prizes if you can just put away 2 games right now.
Well, kind of it. All the teams in this one tournament deserve to be here. All the teams are extremely good. So just winning is going to be extremely hard. It's not going to be an easy walk in the park. You need to put in your very best performance, and I'm sure all the teams here are going to look to do that. But the rookies, I promise, moving up against each other now here. But the rookies, they do have Adrian, and as we've said, Adrian, the one managing this entire tournament, surely must have a lot of stuff on mind right now because of the tournament being run by him.
Well, maybe we should take all that back. Aiden picks up the first kill of the game with a red hot lava BSW. Very nicely done. The rookies set themselves up with a good old sniper nest. It doesn't look like they want to break out onto the main part of Scramble. Now they've got the lead, however tenuous.
Yeah, Aiden, we can't doubt them kind of fit. Shows us up right here, says, you don't know how I play. Comes in and performs absolutely brilliantly to begin with, but it's a very slow game, and actually finds the second kill as well. Off to a very good start here, Aiden.
Very, very nicely done. Gladiator Games saying good luck to the rookies. We lost against them. The 3 games were very good. Gladiator, can you give us any insights as to how they were playing? Because right now, slow and steady certainly seems to be the approach here. The rookies just picking apart the Promise squad. Aiden dodging the sniper bullet there, finds the angle through, and does pick up Meliodas as well.
Aiden, can he find another one? No, will actually go down for the first time. Rookies and Promise 5-3, 6-3 as Tournament comes in and picks up Dog. Goes huge as well. 2 more kills here for the rookies, and suddenly they find themselves up by 4 kills.
Promise are trying to take them on face to face. The rookies seem more than happy to get embroiled in a very different situation than they start things out. It was all about sniping before, now it seems to be a full-on brawl developing in front of Hangar 01 as Patria takes out the recon aircraft. Gotcha going in with a nice grenade toss. Doesn't manage to finalize the kill, but there's follow-up from Sitkia, who gets both at once.
18-12 kind of fit. Rookies are so far up at this point in time that it's looking real dire here for Promise, and Gladiator Games talked about how good rookies they are. You know, I believe them. I believe Gladiator Games after seeing this performance of rookies absolutely tearing their opponents apart.
Up by 8, make that 9. Meliodas trying to hold the line, is coming in from the back. It's the rest of the rookie squad trying to get the surround onto Promise while keeping them from respawning away. Demon with the double. Keeps the points coming in for Promise, who are starting to fight back, but with now a switch of position, rookies inside the hangar with Promise trying to aggress.
Promise are falling further and further behind. Counterfeit is not looking good at all here between these two teams for Promise. 4 minutes left to go, so Promise, they have the time to catch back up, but a player like Jana sitting at 5-3, you need them to really just step up their game. You need them to go crazy. Demon sitting at 9-10. going crazy, but dying quite a lot as well. And that is hurting Promise, but now they're catching up. 36 to 29 is looking better and better for them. But the rookies, they keep on fighting, they keep on pushing. And this chaos is hurting Promise so much. They need to slow things down and regain control.
Promise are just behind by 6 as rookies cross the 40 kill mark. Our Android players do not muck about at all when it comes to getting the kills in, way ahead of the timer running dry. Aiden, who we had our doubts about coming in, has shown up massively. 10 and 6, the second best performing player on the rookie squad. And I mean, certainly being burgeoned by those excellent early kills as Sikia, or Saikita, 15 and 7, the number 1 player, looks to finish the game.
One more kill for rookies will do it. Demon wanted to hide right there, but no, as Patricia goes down, and rookies wins with 11 kills in the league confit. Not as dominant as we've seen in the past, but rookies, even though it was such a chaotic game, kept their calm, kept the control, and they won without breaking a sweat.
15 and 8, definitely a standout performance there. I think Aiden dropping a couple of kills towards the end, making their scoreline look less impressive. We can't forget those sniper kills. I'm surprised a little bit that we did see the rookies just ultimately go for a more, in-your-face style, considering how well the sniping had worked for them to start with.
Yeah, well, sometimes kind of you need to change things up, especially when your opponents, they just keep on coming at you. And that's what happened right there. The rookies, they kept on hammering onto Promise. They never gave them a chance at breathing. They never gave them a chance at making a comeback at all. So, I disagree, Wagner, a little bit with you that they shouldn't have changed this playstyle up. I don't think they had a choice right there.
We'll see what happens in game number 2. So we are aware that we'll be headed onto Museum. Certainly the Museum does have its share of long sightlines, but I kind of feel like wherever you go on the Museum, you're going to end up with at least being vulnerable from one other side.
Yeah, the Museum have the Museum has so many different corners kind of fit that you need to be aware of. There's so many different paths in that one map that you just need to always keep in mind. So definitely going to be an interesting one to look at coming into the very next game.
So guys, we're still in our upper semi-finals, a place in the finals at stake here for our two squads. An 11 kill advantage in game number 1 on Scramble for the rookie squad over Promise. I'm hoping that we do get to see a game number 3 here, but yeah, I mean, the game 1 performance seemed pretty definitive. I think maybe I'm trying to figure out, because based on that previous game, it felt like Promise wanted to start a close-up fight, but that close-up fight still didn't work out.
No, I agree with you, and for Promise, I agree with the sentiment you made early on about how they shouldn't have changed things up, how they should have stayed true to their nature of just playing with their snipers. But sometimes you're just forced into a different situation, and that's what happened right there. They had no choice. They had to play the way that their opponents forced them to play. There was just no way for them to get out of that.
Alright guys, so we'll wait for this next game to get set up. I believe the players are putting everything in place right now, so we will be getting back onto that as soon as possible and seeing who's entering our finals first. Panama is watching on Xbox and Android at the same time. Panama, we appreciate you bumping up our viewer numbers.
We definitely do, Panama. Thank you for coming by, and do stay here. Right now, 50 viewers here enjoying MC5. It is a beautiful community, and we do appreciate every single viewer that we have.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you guys are what have kept MC5 alive for as long as it has been. As we'll check in and see if we pick up any new players. Of course, Bixby, we can't forget their performance from the free-for-all before. We'll see how well that translates across to the team battle.
Basically, well, you know, kind of it off to a very good start, sitting at 3-1 already. That is definitely how easily your skills are translated into those type of games, in a chaotic style of game where your skills can be used and where you can just go aggressive is always going to be interesting to watch, especially when these pro players, they go into those chaotic death matches.
Well, the chaos will start again momentarily. We have got ourselves that game number 2 between our good friends on Rookies and Promise. 1 game to the Rookies so far, and I believe our players are ready to go. Daedalus, your prediction, if you may.
Ooh, I think Rookies are going to take this. I loved what they did in that last game, how aggressive they were, and how they just forced their opponents to be that aggressive as well. So I think it's going to be a hard battle for Promise to make it back. But if anyone can do it, then it's them.
Yes, Acer, this is Android all the way through today, so we'll have our community games, we'll have our tournament games. You do need to be on Android for them. Hopefully, it's not too far off from having ourselves the crossover between Android and iOS, so it hasn't happened as yet. I think there were some plans to have it done by now, but I think some extra technical bits and pieces have put pay to that. Let's get things started. So Rookies staying over on the left-hand side and Promise on the right. 1 game in hand for the Rookies.
Good start right here for the Rookies as well, kind of it, after winning that 1 game 2-0. Starting out slowly as well, but the last time around it did change up pretty damn fast. And the Rookies surely looking to create that chaos once again.
Yeah, the one who started it all was Aiden, who got the first blood in this game as well. This time did get taken out by return fire. It's looking like the Rookies are more than up for a scrapper's Promise. Do grab a couple of kills of their own. This could end up being a lot closer, but Aiden's cashing in with the Bounty Hunter, has early access to those airstrikes, but gets ambushed along the way.
Suddenly Promise, they are actually up here, kind of it. They are the ones in the lead. That is surprising to say the least, but it is happening, kind of it. This is what is gonna happen here. Promise looking to take that lead for themselves, but Dark Ghost and the rest of the bottom here for the score on the scoreboard for Promise need to step it up if Promise they need to keep this lead up. After all, Rookies, we know that they can dominate and they will dominate if given the opportunity.
Well, Meliodas has stepped up, fulfilling some of that expectation we have for them from the very start of this series. Really just didn't get a chance to shine in the previous game. This time, getting taken down for the first time almost 2 minutes in. But Saikita hits 3 at once with an airstrike. Oh boy, that's swinging things back dramatically.
Oh, it absolutely does. Airstrikes coming in makes a huge difference, and suddenly the game's just so much more even. But the airstrikes being deployed once again, Confit, it's far from over. Meliodas
gets back a couple of kills of their own. It's very, very close. Saikita up to 8 kills when we asked for Aesir. Why the tier 5 armor? That's because this is not an official ESL competition. It's being set. This whole thing is being run by Aiden, one of the players in the game, as a way to bring the Android community together. I think it's a bit of an experiment on their part that some people wanted to go back to tier 5 from the tier 3 we've been using for quite a while. I'm kind of curious to see what people think once this tournament is concluded, but right now it's still looking very competitive, even with the stronger armor on both sides.
Yeah, I really enjoy seeing what's happening here in this tournament, seeing things being changed up and just seeing different strategies, different weapons come out, different cores. It all makes a huge difference in the overall scene of MC5. But the Rookies and Promise going head to head right now and still super even, kind of fit.
So much of it is relying on the performance of the number 1 player on Promise, Meliodas, 11-3 so far, along with Jonah, the only two players are really locking away a good amount of points. Saikita, it can almost be said the same off on the other side though. 11 and 4, no one else even coming close.
Now the rookies, they're sprinting away, kind of at 37 to 29. Rookies, they just need 12 more kills, and Saikita over on the side of the rookies, not playing like a rookie at all. 12 to 4, such a scary scary KDA right here. That's a KDA of 3, and suddenly just puts it up even more, and with a 10 kill lead, Promise, they're not finding that Promise to go all the way to the grand final. They could be thrown out here in the semi-final.
Well, Promise are trying to build up a defensive line as best they can right next to Big Head, but it's not working at all. It's merely putting them in the line of the fire of some of the fiercest members of the rookie squad, as Aiden drops down to grab a kill of their own. Less impressive than last time round, but still doing decently. And Saikita just going for the ultra hard carry here. 17 and 5. So it's honestly, it's the 1v9 carry that puts rookies over the edge and into the finals with just a single more kill.
And there we go. That means that rookies counterfeit, they're moving into the grand final. We don't know their opponents quite yet, as Imperishable and Chronic, they're still in their quarterfinal, but it does mean that rookies, they're looking like a super scary team to go up against in the grand final.
So 2 games, 2 amazing Saikita performances. 18 and 5 before, this time at 15 and 8. It's just getting better each and every time. Gotcha as well, doing pretty well. And Meliodas doing their darndest for the Promise team, but ultimately wasn't quite enough. Guys, we're going to get set up for a break game, so do come and join us with the passkey ESL123. If you've just dropped in, a break game is a game which is just the same as our normal community games, but uncommentated while we take a quick break. And then once we return, we'll bring you even more community games, or indeed the next stage of competition if everything goes well.
Oh yes, well, I'm crossing my fingers counterfeit for even more MC5 action. I know that we're gonna have all that MC5 action surely coming up, but still, the players, they need to get ready, so it's not going to be there immediately.
Alright guys, ESL 123, ESL 123. Do come and join us. Let's see how much you guys can show off alongside beloved moderator Hero Gaming Simon, who's kept all of our YouTube channels clean for such a long time. What a great dude. Is there making friends with Panama, who is unfortunately just a little too symbol heavy for Nightbot to stand.
Well, Nightbot does have some standards counterfeit, so it's best to adhere to those standards and always be a nice boy/girl, or else Nightbot will not give you any presents on Christmas Day.
I never knew that Nightbot was, in fact...
Santa Claus?
Well, okay, so this is an important distinction. Is Nightbot really Santa Claus? Or is Santa Claus really Nightbot?
Well, why not both?
Well, you know, it's the whole Batman Bruce Wayne situation. Which is the real person and which one is the mask? We'll have all those answers and more when we return from our break. 7 minutes away, we'll catch you guys on the other side with hopefully our next round of tournament competition. Alright. Let's get ourselves set up with another community game, since I think we are going to be just a little way off our next tournament game. Let me just post out the bracket for all of you all, once again, to keep up with things. Let's see, so I don't think we've had an update as of yet on the lower semi-finals, but of course, with rookies 2-0 in the upper semis, that means they've got a place in the finals themselves. I think it seems likely we're going to be showing the lower semis as well. So with that in mind, let's just open up another free-for-all as a break game. And wait to see what shall happen next. Hero Gaming 7, thank you for also prompting Nightbot to throw out those. Hero Gaming, if there's anything which you want us to put into Nightbot as a command that you think would be useful, then do let us know. ESL123, the game is open. We'd love for you to come and join us. Let's see, I'll just check up on our lower game. So that should be Imp Forever versus the winner of Chronic or Imperishable, which I believe is currently going on. So we may have a little bit longer to wait than expected, but hey, that just means we get more games of MC5. So I can't really say there's too much bad about that. So guys, we'll just extend our break a little bit with another community game, but when we come back, we should hopefully have our next round of ESL competition for you, so do enjoy. We'll just wait for these last couple of players to get into place. AG Nani, last one to do it. It always breaks my heart when people forget to join the actual, using the actual join button. But sometimes you just have to leave some folks behind. Alright, there we go. We'll just to let them join again. So guys, do come and join us, ESL 123. And we'll be back in a few minutes' time with an next update on the competition itself. Welcome back one, welcome back all as Omega. Gosh, it looks like we've got a new free-for-all champion in town with a full 11 points above Mohio, their closest competition. Omega, well done. Even with the rude symbols in your name.
Well, it was an interesting custom game once again to watch, kind of it. But, you know, it's far from over. We're probably going to have even more custom games coming up because I'm pretty sure we haven't gotten an answer yet to what's happening in the actual tournament. Of course, we'll let you all know once we know some. But right now, it's there's not too much to share with everyone.
Well, something we can do next is one of the options on the ESL MC5 Discord as a tiebreaker game is zone control. So, if we give you guys a chance to play some zone control and see what you think of it. I know that generally people tend to shy away from game modes they don't play very much. So, zone control I don't think is a terribly popular game mode, but it's still totally functional as a game type. I don't know, I think maybe if people played more of it they would get kind of, you know, a better appreciation for the modes than they have right now. I don't know if that's true, but I think it's not going to happen if no one plays it.
Yeah, well, I can get behind the sentiment, kind of it. I think what you're saying is correct, and I think that we should definitely do some zone control so that everyone gets an idea about what the game mode is all about, and they get to form an opinion on whether or not it should be the tiebreaker mode.
Oh man, I'm definitely not going to get this right, but Sheriga Galabi, this we have on iOS, so we don't have iOS today, it's just Android. So this is a special one-off competition which was put together specifically by Aiden YouTube, so it's not an ESL competition, it's not even really an official Gameloft competition either. If you'd like to see competitions from Gameloft and from ESL, then do let Gameloft know, because that's still kind of up in the air as to whether or not that will be continuing down the line. If you guys do show support for the idea, then it's definitely a lot more likely to happen. So do post over on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever social media platforms to the Modern Combat accounts to let them know that's something that you'd like to see. As we've got some pretty big names coming in here for this zone control. Bixby from before, and Omega, who just crushed their way through that last free-for-all. I think we'll try and get maybe one more player.
It's gaining a lot of interest, and that definitely goes to show why zone control is being considered to be one of the new tiebreaker games. It's the same with Capture the Flag, that's also in consideration. So if you want to see a new game mode come in for those ESL matches as a tiebreaker, I think you should definitely come in here and play and form your opinion on the matter.
Alright, oh, apparently Bixby is otherwise known as Hatsu, and Panama wants to have Cargo next. Panama, I think we can accommodate you. We're going to try ourselves all manner of marvellous game modes before we get done here today.
Well, do you know kind of it? I wouldn't mind seeing even more Capture the Flag, Cargo, Zone Control, or whatever. Honestly, all is fine by me. I just think playing a bunch of different game modes is going to make a huge difference and make it so much interesting to watch, or so much more interesting to watch these streams. Obviously, the streams are already pretty good, and watching these strong MC5 players battle it out makes it very interesting. But seeing them battle it out on game modes that you don't often see is something new.
Alright, so on to zone control. We'll see what our players make of it, as we've got a good amount of folks coming here. Nearly a full lobby. ESL 1, 2, 3. It's your key. La contraseña, la clave del juego ESL 1, 2, 3. Do come and join us, see if we can fill this lobby up. But I think, you know, with zone control, personally speaking, you know, as much as I like Capture the Flag, I think zone control is a safer option for a tiebreaker mode. Just because you end up with a definitive winner. Whereas on Capture the Flag, your big problem is that you can end up in a situation where neither side are actually capturing the flag.
Yeah, it's a good point, kind of it. It's a very good point indeed. So That's definitely something that we need to keep in mind and keep a look on. But this is going pretty well here for the red team. Already up about 15 more points than their opponents.
Yeah, it's looking pretty darn good. So you've got more points, as the red team do have here. You're going to be getting a passive income of points, which means it's not just about kills, though killing the opposition is definitely beneficial. As we're seeing point A traded for point B neutralized. I mean, I guess if you're behind, there's something to be said for not trying to capture, you know, the majority of points anymore, because that's kind of unlikely, but instead just trying to neutralize the whole zone control aspect of the game by having only 1 point each.
I think something that we need to keep in mind as well, kind of, is that people have a tendency when playing these type of game modes, or especially or just zone control in general, that they overthink how to play the mode and overthink how to capture these controls. Because I usually see people trying to go for all 3 zone controls at the very same time, and that doesn't really matter. As long as you have 2, that's the way to go forward. That's the way that you earn more points than your opponents. You don't need 3, you just need 2. You just need to control those 2.
Well, the blue team have managed to do that, so that's going to mean their points are ticking up, whereas the red team will have to just get them the old-fashioned way. In fact, it looks like we might even be seeing a 3-point capture here from the blues. Oh, yeah, it's going to happen. So that's going to be a lot of points over to the blues to try and catch up.
Suddenly the red team, they're falling pretty far behind. This is going to just move so quickly back. Look right here, already over. Sorry, just taking back the lead. This is what happens when you have more more control over those zones. When you have all 3, you're gonna gain a lot. When you have 2, you're just slowly gonna get over your opponent. But right now, the blue team coming back, and as long as they stay alive just for a little while longer, this is going to be their game.
There we go. The zone control part of the zone control game does make the big difference here. I think the red team may be over focused on picking up those kills. It's always tricky to get those, you know, those final, to turn those kills into into zone captures rather. And there we go, blue team, they were behind for a ton, but turn things around and come out ahead of that convincingly. 23 points in the lead.
It's all about capturing those zones, kind of it. The blue team, they had it in mind. And when you have that in mind, when you know what your objective is, then it's just so much easier to do what you need to do. And the blue team showed us that right here, showed us that they knew that the objective that they need to go for was just all about those pads.
Black Sea definitely getting the MVP nod in that last one. Scored an enormous amount of points, but Bixby on the other side and Omegas, I'm really surprised to see them lose, considering that they were both very individually accomplished players. But there we go, zone control, it's a thing. So guys, we are waiting on our next tournament match. What we'll do is, for the sake of variety, we'll throw in a break game now of just, let's say, do you want to go for free-for-all or team battle, dealers?
Let's go for a team battle. I feel like we've had a lot of free-for-all here today.
Alright, so if you choose the mode, I'll choose the map. ESL 1, 2, 3. Let's see, where have we not gone to yet?
Oh, have we been on... We haven't been on the streets very much, I feel like.
Yeah, well, we definitely haven't been. Oh wait, no, we're going to be going there for the cargo game. I was going to say the canals. Alright, let's go back to the old classic of the streets. We will break out the canals cargo game following this if we have the time. Oh, actually, hold the phone. It looks like maybe, just maybe, we may have some tournament news instead. Let's see if this key works.
Crossing my fingers, counterfeit. Please do not tease me right here. I need even more MC5 action, and I want it now.
It looks like, in fact, it was all a terrible tease.
No! Okay, that did not sound as dramatic as I wanted it to sound.
I mean, you're not James L. Jones, so it's. I don't know. Did he actually do that? Did he?
No, no, that was Hayden Christensen.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
What a shame.
Because Hayden was the one in the Darth Vader suit in Rise of the Sith.
There we go. Hero Gaming 7 is behind your outburst of emotion.
Revenge of the Sith, rather.
Alright guys, well, we definitely do have a tournament lobby coming up momentarily, but I'm going to see, I think we will try and go ahead with what we were going to do anyway, on the assumption that it may be a few minutes away. So ESL 1, 2, 3, that's Team Battle, which will be, of course, as we said, a break game. Let's get you guys in here and get started.
Yep, on the streets, Team Battle. It's a classic. Everyone loves the streets. So get in here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and play some MC5 on the good old map that everyone loves.
Alright, there we go. The game is up. The invites are out. We await only your attendance. Black Mamba, welcome, welcome. Let's see if we can find you some buddies to clash on these mean streets. Hamed and friends, all are welcome here today. Yokonuri, you're coming as well. Excellent. Wonderful news. And Hero Gaming Simon's in here. Gosh, we have a surplus of riches. Let's... Oh man, I think this is going to be a busy game. So guys, ESL 1, 2, 3, come and join us quick as you can, because we might run out of space with all of these big names coming and joining in today's custom games. We'll be right back with the next part of our competition, hopefully. But for now, we'll see you guys on the other side of the break. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back. We are going into our lower semi-finals, Imperishable and Imp Forever. Now you might be thinking, but where, oh where are my friends from Chronic? Unfortunately, falling foul of some of the changed rules for today's competition. So you're always going to be careful, because not everything is being run under ESL rules, but it's all in good fun today. But it does mean Imperishable move forward. Imp Forever, a place in the finals at stake, and it starts out here on Scramble.
Oh yes, kind of fit. Imperishable. Not off to a good start though, losing that first kill over to Imp Forever. But obviously, due to 6 minutes and 25 seconds left to go, they can still count this back, and only one kill lead is not that great. Isn't that huge, but this, however, starting to really turn around right here. Seeing how Imp Forever, they're not catching up, and they're not really putting in a lead right now for themselves to work with.
So far, the points have been entirely down to Cabby on the side of Imp Forever. They literally have scored every single point on the squad, whereas a three-way spread for Imperishable. I think that gives them a better chance of picking up things as the game goes on, but we'll see how well we can have a single person carry here from Cabby, who doesn't have support from the rest of the squad, and they're going to get dogpiled.
Ooh, they definitely are going down right there, and the game is super close right now. Kind of it. No one is coming up ahead. It's 7-7 between these two teams, but Imperishable stacking together right here in this hangar, not gonna give Imp Forever a single chance at taking one of them down. Well, never mind, they go down right there after fighting, but still, grouping together means that you can limit the amount of exposure that you are showing in your armor.
Wow, look at Simple here though, just controlling the space beautifully. Some great quick scoping, managing to cover the two different directions at once. Imperishable stay ahead with Mare grabbing a couple more kills of their own. It's 4 up for Imperishable here. Imp Forever, they are trying to bully their way through the lines of Imperishable, and I think ultimately everyone's dying, and so the score stays relatively the same.
But even then, just the 4-kill lead in such a close match as this one kind of, it means the world. Out, putting it up to 6. Imperishable not letting Imp Forever get back in this one. I love what the two teams are doing in order to just, they are grouping up together and taking these team death matches to the whole idea about it being a team that goes up against each other. And Imperishable coming out ahead because they just limit again the amount of opportunities that their opponents can find against them.
Yeah, there will be only one IMP team by the end of this one. But yeah, really impressive stuff from Simple. And Cabby, who was solo carrying the squad before, has started to drop a lot of deaths. Let's see who else can step up. Philippe just getting taken out there for the red squad. Imp Forever might be able to provide that, but right now it's starting to seem like that score lead is building up and up. A towering mountain of points looming over this first game.
(28-22) with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. Kind of it. There is obviously a huge way to go here for Imp Forever if they want to make this comeback. Now at 8, Imperishable not coming or not really being a team that gets a huge lead fast, but they just get that slowly. They are just slowly coming up ahead and slowly picking up the slack. I love what we're seeing, and I love how they are just a team that doesn't give up, and Perishable slowly gaining that lead for themselves, slowly paper cutting their opponents to the death.
I mean, it's still the player that's standing out for me the most has got to be Simple in this game. Just absolutely ludicrously strong BSW play on that sniper. I mean, it's not just about being a good sniper, but having that nerve under pressure as the last defense comes in. EBR, nice defense there with the Shred, manages to get a whole bunch of kills. I don't think there's time left though, either on the clock or with the amount of points left for Imperishable.
Forever so far behind, kind of it. At this point in time, they just need to think about what they need to do in the next game, what they can do differently, because 3 kills is going to be near impossible to limit against their opponents. It's MC5. There's always going to be kills coming in, and honestly, you just need to think about what you can do better and differently in the next game.
So there we go, that first game is done. A 15 kill advantage here on Scramble. Ironic, of course, against a team named after the Imp sniper rifle. You see there Travis with the Imp in hand, and really no standout players by the end at least. 14-6 though for Simple. Travis doing pretty darn well as well. We'll be bringing you another community game while they do get set up for game number 2. Panama, thank you for dropping by the stream. We'll hope to see you another time. Again, this is a one-off stream unless you guys do let Gameloft know you'd like to see more ESL competition. For now though, we'll just get what we can get. And come and join us with ESL 123.
Are we going for a cargo this time around?
Well, I think we had that in mind as a possibility. Let's see if you guys are up for it. ESL 123. Show us what you got. Will you be a legendary post carrier, or will you have to pick it up from your local post dispensary?
What?
I have post in my mind.
You have a poster mind?
Sure. There we go, the game is up. ESL 123. Jefferson Joseph Leon Serrano. Welcome, welcome. So we're going to need a bunch of players to make this one work. Let's see if we can get them.
Yeah, well, you are not wrong, kind of it. But I'm sure that all of these players would love to come in here and support different game modes. So if you want to play, go over to your Android platform and type in the passkey ESL123. The sooner you get in here, the better, because we want to get this one started, and we want to get it started right now so that we can show you the very best MC5 action that is in this community.
Alright, so we've got Black Mamba, Black Sea. Hopefully we'll get Black Pudding as well.
What about Black Rock? Or a Black Zone?
Oh, that's true. I don't know if they'll be otherwise occupied. We'll have to see. This is the problem with with doing cargoes and canals, is we don't really tend to get very many people coming in from just the random chat ads.
Unfortunately, but the problem really is that cargo is a very slow-paced game mode. There's not a lot that happens, and it's mainly because people haven't played the game mode that often, so they don't have a clear reference to what the strategies are and how they should be behaving on the canals, and especially in cargo.
Okay, I think we might be able to get ourselves started if we can just get one more player. Black Zone is not pleased by the notion of black coffee. Black Zone, I wasn't sure. So, for any of you guys who are not aware, Black Zone is our resident connoisseur of all things coffee related. And I didn't know if Black Zone, if you were really kind of married to the idea of a particular kind of coffee, or if you you felt it was your responsibility as the connoisseur of coffee to be familiar and a regular partaker of all kinds.
What's your favorite kind of coffee, counterfeit? While we wait for Black Zone to give us their answer.
Now, I don't drink a ton of coffee. I tend to just have the more standard
wait,
stuff.
What? You always talk about getting coffee in the breaks, mate.
Doesn't mean I get fancy coffee, though.
That's true, but you still get coffee, so I'm sure you must have a favorite.
I don't know. Whatever's on sale is generally my favourite. Alright, let's get this game started, because I think we're going to have to get on to our next game before 2. Oh, actually, hold the phone. It looks like we've got a development.
What's happening?
Apparently, we're going to be seeing Rookies versus Imperishable in our grand final, which is an unexpected development, to say the least.
Yeah, that is not what we expected, kind of it, but it does mean that we are going to move into the grand final right now, so everything is on the line right here for these teams. Obviously, what you can win here today is going to be the Supermarine Armor and the Kill Sign winner of the tournament. For the second place, you don't get that armor, you only get golden weapons. So a lot on stake for the winners of this tournament.
So we've got a 3 versus 3. We've got Hero Gaming Summon bringing out the Sapper for this one. So one of the reasons why Cargo is kind of fun as a tiebreaker is you do get to see people just trying totally different approaches to the game that you wouldn't really see anywhere else. As unfortunately Hero Gaming is not having the best of luck so far. I think needs to get set up with the turret before they can really start going off. And yep, there we go. They've changed their mind. Hero Gaming, you were a prophet too far ahead of your time.
Well, sometimes that happens, kind of bit, but changing things up and adapting is the right way to go. So I quite love that Hero Gaming is taking those steps in adapting to what they should be doing.
So we've got Gladiator knocking around here. Let's see who the big numbers are. Ah, it's Black Sea on the blue squad, who's managed to get that push up to nearly 40%, but so that's just past the first checkpoint, but there's still a long way to go. It doesn't matter how many kills you get, Black Sea, you need to get that cargo moving, and that means you're putting yourself in the line of fire. We haven't got a turret drop to help support this push going forward, but Bixby gets knocked out of the way. Gladiator Games is waiting though for the cargo to come a-calling.
And you do need to remember, guys, obviously we don't see cargo very often, so just to explain a little bit, you do get more time to work with when you actually get that cargo to the next point. So it's very important to keep pushing, especially since you don't have a lot of time to work with just to begin with. Like, it's a very limited amount of time that you have, so you need to get moving already from the start.
So down to under 1 minute left as the red team, I believe they've gotten the push on. They've managed to push that cargo back to... Oh no, I tell a lie. I think that's changed around very quickly. Blue team, it's a contested push right now, but they're moving towards the second checkpoint. If the time runs out, that will be their final score. Black Sea, 9-1, gets the double headshot through there, but falls back just before hitting the checkpoint. Doesn't want to push their luck just a little bit further.
20 seconds left to go. They need to get it in, and they need to get it in now. But this is a choke point. It's going to be so hard, especially with Bixby there. But the players are coming in. They have 10 seconds. As long as they stay on that card, they can get it in. Goal. But no! Just a few centimeters from getting it in, counterfeit. They all die. And this means that they're only going to get 56% locked down. And that's not even enough for them to win this, or to have it guaranteed. Such a heartbreaking end.
It does mean that if I don't miss my guess, that if we do see a second checkpoint reached here by the red team, and it looks like they're not wasting any time when doing so, that they will instantly win because they will not be able to score lower than the blues. Gladiator has ducked out of this game. So Bixby is going to be the one trying to hold on, gets a double kill through there. Can't quite turn into a third as Black Mamba's sniping. Very smart play there, just ducking round the corner. Won't take enough damage in that amount of time to get taken out entirely.
But you are correct, kind of fit. The red team, they just need to get on to that second checkpoint. And they are moving so quickly. They know that they can't afford to not move. They know that they need to get it over that finishing line already now. And, well, you know what, kind of fit? Here we go. For 54, they just need a bit more. And there we go. They win it. The red team completed by getting just a bit longer than the blue team. Well played by them.
Hey, there we go. It's pretty darn close. But well played as... Oh man, Strategic Storm. I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
But yeah, I enjoyed watching that cargo game. I think I would love to have that be our tiebreaker game. It's not often we see it. And honestly, it's always fun to see cargo. And just see how teams behave in a new environment.
So guys, our finals are apparently ready to go. So we'll be headed across there in just a few short moments' time. We've been, of course, loving the chance to reconnect with you guys on Android and, of course, across the different platforms. So I hope that you guys will, let us know what you thought about the stream on Facebook, on Twitter and things. It does make a difference if you get you guys' voices heard for having more tournaments in the future. For now, let's get ourselves into that lobby. Let's check our key is up and working. And then we'll have our players ready to go, I suspect.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the teams, they are hyped and ready to get into that grand final, that they just can't wait to see who's going to be the winners. So this is going to be super interesting, to say the least, kind of it.
So between our two remaining teams, we came with this one with the content creator tournament. Of course, there are only 5 content creators in here, spread across 3 different teams. All credit to our content creators, though, that they have made it to the end. So the rookie team on the right, Aiden, tournament host and content creator who put this entire thing together, has performed strongly enough to bring their team through to this best of 5, which is just incredible. Yeah, with all of the other stuff they've got to be considering, to be able to perform that well, all credit to them.
Well, both being busy with running the tournament and playing kind of it. I don't think there's a lot of players that can keep their cool rather so easily.
Alright, we've got our players ready to rock and roll. Imperishable Rookie best of 5 action. Let's see who gets to bring home a whole pile of super marine armor. Our thanks again, whatever happens, to Aiden for putting this tournament together, and for Black Zone for helping making it happen, and of course all of our players for showing up and showing that MC5 is very much still alive here on Android. We will hopefully be bringing more MC5 competition down the line, but it's going to be up to you guys and letting your voices be heard. For now, we're on to Vantage. Let's see who can get that first blood.
Rookie versus Imperishable. Simple, looking for the first blood with that sniper, and will not be the one to get it, but that's going to be a grenade instead. It's 2-0 for Rookie.
The Trey kill does come back in, as it looks like Imperishable and Rookie are going to be going face to face. We have got Sakita coming in from the side, trying to sneak around. Simple, we remember before, as the absolutely ridiculously strong sniper, if they can get the right situation. They were able to snipe at short range when they've got enemies coming in from both in front and behind them.
But Imperishable, they are giving Rookies a fight for their money. It's fight to fight kind of it. I think we've gotten the best teams into this grand final. Imperishable, however, tournament is one of those strong players on the side of Rookie that you need to lock down now, that you need to figure out how to deal with. Because right now, tournament is definitely popping off.
And Simple on the side of Imperishable is making great use of the terrain to make sure their sniping position stays as secure as possible. Very smart play as Travis grabs a couple for themselves. With that shred, there's a lot of firepower. Gotcha. Does get the double kill though. Nicely done.
Yeah, Rookie's still in this fight kind of fit. It's just turning back and forth right now, and I like, again, what Imperishable are doing. Remember when we talked about how in their semi-final, they are a team who slowly builds up their lead. They are not flashy. They are not a team where you think, oh, wow, that was quick. But rather a team who just finds those picks slowly by taking calculated risks and saying, okay, if we do this, there's a 75% chance that we're going to win, so let's go for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many decisions happening in such a short amount of time. Your decision-making apparatus as a team needs to be absolutely on point, otherwise it's just going to all descend into chaos.
Yeah, absolutely, kind of fit. So, for now, Imperishable, they're not giving Rookie a chance to breathe. They keep on coming against them, but in such a calculated way. You can just see right here, Mar giving that supporting fire to the teammates so that they can push in. So it's not like they're just running in one by one by one. They are communicating and they're doing it so slowly, it's really admirable.
31 to 20, 4 minutes and change left on the clock for this first grand finals game here on Android for our content creator tournament. Rookie, they're trying to keep up. Tournament host Aiden, let's check in with them. Not having the best of games so far, but we have got some heavy hitters. Simple and Mayor, both with 9 kills apiece, seem like the players to watch as we come into the back half of the first game.
Remember, guys, it is a best of 5, so we're gonna have a lot more action between these two teams. But right now, Imperishable, they are showing us that this could be a quick a quick 3-0 with the way that they are just dominating their opponents.
So Travis and Talon managing to both pick up kills for themselves. Let's see, so Tournament, we were praising them before, is going to howl up the moon for a second before getting back into things. Currently the top scoring player for the Rookie squad, who've all struggled to get that good KDA. In fact, Sakita, who seems to be pretty popular in the chat, is the only player from Rookie who's managed to maintain those good numbers.
Imperishable, they need 7 more kills to kind of fit. Rookie, they are falling apart, and at this point in time, they should just start working together more, because that's what Imperishable do. They push in together. They come in as units, not as single players, and it's really hurting Rookie that they can't fight against them in these scenarios where they are not in a man advantage. They need to stop looking for duels and instead look for team fights.
50 to 36. Game 1 goes definitively towards the Imperishable squad. It looked pretty even for a while, but just wildly getting away with things. And Mayor, 15 and 6. Simple, 12 and 6. Some very nice play there. So guys, we're going to grab up another community game as we work our way through the finals. So this will be a break game while we get our bits and pieces in place for the grand finals game number 2. Super Marine Armor on the line, and third place match being played off stream. ESL 123 on Android. Do come along and show us what you're made of.
Well, where are we going this time around, Confid, for the break game?
I'll leave it up to you, sir.
Do I get to decide? Ooh,
Indeed.
Well, let's go for a free-fall on the rooftops.
Alright. ESL 123. Feel more than free to come and join us. We'll hop to the traditional ESL rules for our custom games, so maybe we should be going with the tournament ones, which are the allowance of tier 5 armor. We don't quite have the nuance to be able to do it in the same way as them, though. Hey, Miguel Perez, Cabala, how you doing? Bienvenido. The next game is just about to come up, assuming that everything's still working alright. If not, we'll do a quick restart and then get everything sorted. Okay, that's what we'll do. apologies for that, guys. If this does mean that we run into game number 2, then we'll just get straight onto that. But if not, as soon as the game is back up, we'll have it on stream. Christian, not quite human. I think Christian...
Oh, says bar.
I think they're calling out for your weird and disturbing goat sound, Dealers. I think that's what...
Oh, wait, no, that's it. Wait. There you go. Yeah.
It's like a symphony. It really is.
I've never thought about it that way. Well, thank you for pointing out to me that I can make music with my mouth.
I mean, it's one of a series of options that I'm glad you decided to go with the more traditional approach. Alright, ESL 1, 2, 3. The game is going to be set up once again.
Yoka Nuber saying, I cannot log in. I don't know what weapons are needed. Well, Yoka, I believe we are playing by the standard ESL rules in the custom games. Is that correct, kind of it?
Yep, tier 7 weapons, tier 3 armor, and of course you need to be on Android to be able to play in today's stream. So I hope you'll be able to do that. I hope you'll be able to do what Mare and Simple did and come and destroy absolutely everything.
Everything?
Everything!
Oh.
That's right. Just think about that one a little while you're sipping your hot chocolate, warm in your home, and not out on the rooftops fighting for your very life.
I actually don't like hot chocolate.
More for me.
Yeah, that's true. Well, congratulations, my friend.
I feel congratulated.
Well, I did say congratulations to you, so I think that makes sense that you do feel congratulated.
Black Zone is asking, how do you say ESL 1, 2, 3 in Spanish? Yes, Per.
You say ESL 1, 2, 3. Wait, no. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Pretty close. Tres.
Tres.
I think it's tres or twee. I'm getting confused now.
Well, me too. Me too.
Alright guys, so we will be back with an answer to that question and more. Imperishable and Rookie Round 2 coming up after this game. Welcome back, one and all. We are waiting on a game number 2 of our grand finals. I'm just going to check and see where we are with that, but for now, let's keep the good times running. Black Mamba, good job along with Lucifer and Zasky. A very, very close free-for-all encounter there. Let's see. Christian, not quite human. Gameloft, what's going on? Oh, so myself and Doodles aren't Gameloft employees, so we can't really answer any questions about anything Gameloft specific. Let's see. Christian. So if any of you guys ever do have a question that you need answered which doesn't get answered, it's usually going to be best to include that question when you ask for an answer again. Because while we might miss it the first time, chances are we can't go back and find your original question in order to answer it if it's a long way back. So anytime you've got a question, just restate your question along with a request to have it answered. That sounds like it might be more annoying, but actually it's much more helpful for us. Alright, let's go for a team battle on conversion. So, OT 3000, I'm afraid this is currently a closed tournament as far as the tournament things go, but if you want to take part in the community games on Android, just use the passkey ESL123 and come and join us. Yoka Nori, your preparations for this match were destroyed. Wait, what happened? Oh, Christian, so, well, this tournament is not run by ESL, so it's entirely up to the organizer as to who they want to let play. If they want to let anyone play, that's up to them. If they want to, you know, operate off of the way that other people have run their tournaments, they're not obliged to, but I can understand your reasoning there. Bixby and Elizabeth, welcome, welcome. Let's see if we can find you a few friends to make a team. Ah, an anonymous soldier. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, ESL unos dos tres, la contraseña, la clave del juego. All that good stuff. I don't know if any of you guys have seen on Reddit, but there's been a little bit of a spate recently of famous actors like Ben Affleck and other people coming on to talk shows and talking in, say, Spanish or any number of different ones. Bixby wants to have capture the flag. Okay, we can do capture the flag next, Bixby. We will probably do it on a... Yeah, once this one is done. Just because if we're struggling to find players for team battles, we'll definitely struggle to find them for capture the flag. Hey, base gaming and devastating Phil 14. Let's get this one started. Hey Razor, how's it going? I hope you're doing well here today. We're just killing a little bit of time while some admin business goes on about our grand finals here today. And once that's all sorted out, then we'll be back into things. Razor, you miss MC5 ESL PC. I can understand that. So Razor, what we have been encouraging people to do, because this is just a one-off event, if you'd like to see more ESL competition, then please do post on the Modern Combat Facebook page or to the Modern Combat Twitter saying that's the case, because that will help the community managers in making the case that people actually want to see those things. Posting in the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat is one thing, but making an actual post about it has a lot more impact in terms of making it possible for the ESL to come back again. So, you know, let your voices be heard. Is that something that you would like to see? As Christian is having fun with Nightbot, and who wouldn't have fun with Nightbot, honestly? The most jovial of all the bots. Yeah, Razor, I'd love to see you coming in and playing once again. Honestly, I always think the PC players need a little bit more love. And I'm always happy to have PC tournaments, because that's the one platform where I can play moderately well. Oh, hey!
Well, you know, I too enjoy seeing PC tournaments, because then I can also play, and I love myself Battle Royales.
Yes, that's definitely something which I'm going to try and... Well, I think first things first is definitely going to be for the future of MC5 ESL. And then hopefully, if everything goes well in that direction, which you guys definitely will have a hand in, whether you post or not. But if that does happen, then I think that's going to be, that's what's going to be the top priority. And then hopefully beyond that, we can get, talking about doing shenanigans like running Battle Royale tournaments and stuff like that, which I'd love to do. We've only done it once, and it was a really good time.
Well, I don't think I got to participate in that one tournament where it was all about PUBG. Sorry, not PUBG, Battle Royale rather.
Well, the health, it wasn't an officially run Game Loft tournament is a little bit like the tournament we've got here today with a content creator. Hellfire, who you can find on YouTube as an MC5 content creator, though he wasn't able to take part in today's competition on Android, put together the Battle Royale and also organised all of the people, which was a decent, I think it was a decent amount of people, about 20 or 30 people playing Battle Royale in a tournament structure, which is very cool. Oh, Gladiator Games, is your name Ruben, or is it just someone with who's a fan of yours? I don't know, but Ruben, hello, over on Facebook.
Well, you know, kind of I would say Gladiator Games should have advanced with the way that they are playing. Honestly, Gladiator Games is one of the best MC5 players we have, so it wouldn't surprise me at least if they do have a few fans around the globe.
Well, Zasky as well is doing extremely well in this team battle. Is, as you can tell by their name, a YouTuber themselves. I haven't actually looked at Zasky's YouTube channel. Let's give that a try. So I think they are let's see, Zasky YouTube, or Zasky MC5, I guess. Let's see. Oh yes, there we go. Zasky MC5 with 538 subscribers and quite a logo. And yeah, they post. Zasky is an MT5 YouTuber who's got some quite nice thumbnails actually. Yeah.
What's
Todayland.
the logo?
It's a very potent green with a little Modern Combat soldier on there.
Oh, that sounds pretty nice.
I recommend checking it out. Checking it out. With all of our wonderful content creators who put the time in to provide all sorts of good stuff around MC5. Woof. Alright, so just going to check in with Aiden and see how things are progressing with the grand final, as our players continue to rip each other asunder. Let's see. We've got about 8 people in here. I'd like to try and put together an Android Battle Royale, but I don't think we've got enough folks to make it really practical.
No, what is it? We say that we need one like at least 10, 12 people?
Ideally, yes. I mean, you can get away with about 8, but it doesn't really feel like a battle royale as much as just a free-for-all. Everyone can only die once. Okay, so this is an idea which I don't know if I've got enough time before this game ends to really float this idea. But as we're both familiar with the idea of League of Legends, what about a MOBA style game for MC5, or MOBA style game mode, where you use the you take the stuff for the zombie mode and you add it into multiplayer so that people have like a zone actually wait, well, let's get another game set up before I start really getting into this, because this is a very complicated idea that I'm sort of half thinking of as I'm saying it.
You know what I think would be very cool? What's the actual word for it? What's the genre that Teamfight Tactics is?
Auto Battler.
Auto Battler for MC5. That would be nice. That would be super cool. Have the different just have different classes go up against each other, and some of them be stronger than the others. Like a soldier would be a good standard one.
Well, I think what tends to make that kind of thing tricky is that you've got. Let's give the Battle Royale a try and see if we've got enough people who want to play it. Let's not put a passkey on it actually, because that way we can get in more. Oh, actually, no. I think we can still do the invites, so we'll give it a try. I guess the problem with that is it's a totally different genre, whereas it's a little easier to pull off something where you don't have to build it from scratch. Whereas I was talking about like the idea of bringing MOBA style concepts into MC5 rather than not actually making it a MOBA. So here's the first draft of a concept for a MC5 game mode. is that you have, say, zone control, but any zone that you have will spawn zombies that walk towards the unowned zones and will attack anybody from the opposing team they come across on the way.
Okay.
That's the most simple way I could think of to implement that kind of idea. Where it's just like, you just introduce AI mooks in who wouldn't really have a very high lethality, but they would be enough to kind of get in the way of certain things, or like, yeah, they would be a threat if you didn't deal with them.
Well, I can see where you're going. Something that could also be used would be to what, like...
Alright, Battle Royale's not gonna happen, let's switch off that.
Yeah, but one thing you could also do in those zone controls would be that the different zones give you different attributes. So like, more defensive stats, or more damage, or if you want to get creative, like have your bullets do damage over time, or give you like a special airstrike or something.
That's interesting. I kind of like the idea. Yeah, the idea that
I imagined it up myself.
I think there's some interesting concepts running around there, but guys, I think from what we're getting information from Aiden, that unfortunately the finals is going to be drawing to a close because of an admin decision, which is unfortunate. It will mean that ultimately that we'll just have to leave things there competitive-wise, with rookies taking it. But we thank you guys so much for joining us here today. We'll do this one last free-for-all today. Again, this is a one-off event. If you want to see more MC5 streams, do post on the Facebook page, do post on the social media. Let Gameloft hear your voices, otherwise this could be the only one we'll have for a very long time, if at all. We thank you to, of course, Hero Gaming Simon for coming in, moderating and being our best pal. To Aiden for running the whole thing, along with help from a Black Zone. And let's get this last free-for-all done as we say goodbye to guys for what could be quite a while.
Yeah, well, hopefully not for too long, kind of. It would make me sad if we don't get to check in with Hero Gaming Simon and all the others here in the MC5 community.
Nasri Hachem, how's it going? What's your question? ESL123, come and join us on Android for the last game of the Content Creator Tournament. This community game is open to all. Of course, it's been our privilege to bring you today's Android competition. We hopefully get to spend some more time with you down the line, but said it's not a guarantee. So if it doesn't happen, we very much appreciate you guys who've spent so much time sharing these wonderful tournaments with us. To the game itself, where Bixby, who has proven themselves previously a very, very proficient free-for-all player, who's doing it very well for themselves with that Jadestone Bosk.
Oh yes, Bixby has been a name that's come up quite a lot here in tonight's MC5 stream, kind of it. So, you know, they're probably looking to just tear their opponents down one more time. Currently leading the fray with 4 kills, but I do believe that there's someone just behind Bixby.
Let's see, so Bixby and Lucifer vying for the top spot along with M16, a 3-way contest going on right now, as we don't do many free-for-alls here on the streets. It's very much more set up as a team map, but certainly makes a pretty explosive free-for-all play when you have no idea where the enemy's going to be coming from.
Oh, absolutely, and that's why the streets is a classic. There's so many ways you can approach this one map. There's so many ways that you can get shot from, that you can shoot from as well. So kind of it is a classic, and you should never ever take it away from the competitive map pool.
So Nasri, unfortunately there is no ESL competition at the moment. It's still up in the air whether or not ESL will return. As I said, if that's something that you are interested in joining in down the line, do post on the Facebook page. I think there may, well, I don't know if anyone's posted on there already to kind of lend your voice to, and that's for your Windows player. So yes, we have just been on iOS today, but we're going to be just doing it, just on Android today, but they won't be unfortunately able to bring you guys iOS and PC for the time being, unless ESL gets picked up once again. Bixby?
Right now, Bixby's still up at 12 kills, kind of it. That's 6 more than the second highest player, Lucifer, right now at 7. So Bixby definitely just dominating everyone as you would have expected.
Yeah, Bixby just looking so good here. I mean, Lucifer did take down Bixby before to try and claw the way up. But you look at those numbers, 12 and 4, 8 and 3, Lucifer and Bixby. I don't know if Lucifer catches up here, but if I was them, I don't know if I would go hunting for Bixby, because that's a point which is so much harder to earn.
Oh, absolutely. You would want to go for the ones at the bottom of the scoreboard. If you don't have to put in too much effort to get those kills, you might as well go for it. And right now, going up against Bixby means you have to take down the very best. And it's just so much easier to take down someone who's underperforming, someone who's currently tunnel visioning and perhaps is too much in their own head.
Bixby, though, is playing defense and offense at the same time. 15 and 5 is just crazy. Especially when they're right in the center of the map, and you can see every couple of seconds a new player is coming through the door. It's high risk, high reward, but it's working out pretty darn well. Hero Gaming Simon puts pay to that, but they themselves have a long way to climb up, currently in 7th.
Yeah, well, Hero Gaming Simon looking to get inside at least top 3 counterfeit. There's a long way to go to even get to that point, and Hero Gamer Simon just chasing people right now, shoots them in the back, but runs straight into gotcha, and that means Hero Gamer Simon will go down once again, not moving up at all here on the scoreboard.
Hero Gaming, right place, right time, I think going for the double there, takes down lost score leader Bixby. Hero Gaming Simon, if this is the last game that we see you in on stream, then you have acquitted yourself admirably, sir.
Well, you definitely have done well. Bixby, so close to ending things out right here, kind of. 9 more kills. This should be Bixby's game. 1 minute and 55 seconds to find those kills. And even then, if Bixby doesn't find all the kills that they need, just running the timer down and having such a huge lead over Gladiator Games should do the trick.
So again, shout out to Gladiator Games, one of our favourite MC5 YouTubers. As much as we all love you guys, Gladiator Games has been a big supporter of our ESL MC5 streams as well. So we have much appreciation for him and for all of you guys who've given your time across and not just being content creators, but being part of the MC5 community. It's meant a lot to both myself and Deedless, and of course to all of those ESL admins. While there may not be an ESL competition, there's been so many of them who've given up their time to make the ESL MC5 scene even be a thing.
Yes, and obviously everyone has come together to just bond and form such a beautiful community. While we may sometimes get mad at each other and disagree, we always just have our love of MC5 to bond over, kind of it. So for this, it's been a special community, and for hopefully a community that will continue to grow once those ESL competitions come back.
Alright guys, that's it for us now. Congratulations to Bixby, Gladiator Games in 2nd, and Mr. Bear in 3rd. Very nicely done. Hero Gaming made it all the way up to 5th. What a great job. Look now, Hero Gaming Simon, you're in 1st, because you are always 1st to me.
Well, at least you're 1st in my heart as well.
So guys, this might be it for us. It's been our privilege to be able to bring these tournaments to you guys. We'll hopefully get to see you again down the line, but if not, it's been wonderful. We hope to cross paths again down the line. Our thanks again to Aiden for putting today's tournament together. It would not have been possible otherwise. But now though, Again, thank you to everyone who's been involved with all of the ESL MC5 streams, and of course this one as well. We'll see you guys a little later down the line.